Hey there YouTube lovers, my name is BB8 and today we are going to review the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass. Not just Wave 6, not just Wave 5, but the entire Booster Course Pass. And I thought, I have been teasing the DLC category for quite a while, so I thought we'll introduce it here today in this video. So, without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? Before we get into the review video itself, I want to introduce BB8's House Reviews DLC. The 5th category in BB8's House Reviews. Joining BB8's House Reviews Standard, BB8's House Reviews Retro, BB8's House Reviews Video Game Adaptations, and BB8's House Reviews Remix. So what is this category then? So I ended up going with a honeycomb theme for this category. But why did I pick a honeycomb theme to be exact? The reason we've chosen a sweet and modular honeycomb theme for our DLC reviews is to perfectly capture the essence of expansion packs that seamlessly fit into your favorite games. Just like honeycombs fit together in a hive. But why did I pick this theme? You might want to stay tuned to find out more. So here are the rules of the category. Before we dive into these awesome DLCs, let's lay down on some rules. The first rule is that no microtransactions will be talked about in here. We are all about the meaty stuff, meaning we won't be covering any form of microtransaction or in-game currency like V-Bucks, Rocket League credits, or Showbucks. Meaning, there's no Fortnite shopping spree here, guys. You might want to bear that in mind. Our second rule is that we're more focusing on story-driven expansions, but there is certain exceptions to this. Meaning that DLCs with introducing new characters, stages, and epic narratives may get the spotlight, but the only exceptions apply to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. The third rule is that we're not doing any form of seasonal shenanigans, meaning the Battle Pass and seasonal structures won't be in the DLC spotlight, meaning seasons from Fortnite or Overwatch 2 will not be getting reviewed here. And PvE expansions won't be included in here either, because unfortunately Overwatch 2's PvE missions are unpredictable to when they're gonna roll out, so unfortunately I will not be reviewing PvE expansions in this category. So with that being said, let's get into the review. So how we are going to review the Booster Course Pass is we're going to review the Booster Course Pass wave by wave, starting off with Wave 1. Wave 1 of the Booster Course Pass in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe offers a solid start, as the wave brings a mix of classic and tour tracks to the game, featuring courses like Paris Promenade from Tour, Toad Circuit from Mario Kart 7, Choco Mountain from Mario Kart 64, Coconut Mall from Mario Kart Wii, Tokyo Blur from Mario Kart Tour, Shroom Ridge from Mario Kart Double Dash, Sky Garden from Mario Kart Super Circuit, and Ninja Hideaway from Mario Kart Tour. Each track offers an enjoyable racing experience, but there was missed opportunities evident within this wave. In particular, the absence of anti-gravity sections in Coconut Mall's ramp area, which could have used anti-gravity, and Sky Garden would have fit perfectly for anti-gravity. It was just a missed opportunity in my opinion. Like, the Wave 1 would have been more enjoyable with anti-gravity added in there. The track selection is decent in Wave 1. There is 2 tracks I would swap out. Toad Circuit is one I'd swap out for Shy Guy Bazaar. I think because I have minor texturing issues in Toad Circuit, that's why I'd swap it out. Just because there was already enough circuits in base Mario Kart 8 Deluxe that I think we didn't need any more circuits in the game. So I took Toad Circuit out and put Shy Guy Bazaar in there. And in Shroom Ridge, I'm replacing with Luigi's Mansion to maintain diversity with the Booster Course Pass. Because one thing the Booster Course Pass lacked was ghost themed tracks. And the reason I took Shroom Ridge out was because of Moonview Highway's inclusion later in the pass. One thing I do want to bring up about the first wave is probably the graphics. The graphics are not terrible, but I do think if they took more time with the first wave, the graphics could have been way better than the final product. Because texturing issues on some of the tracks feel like they were copy and pasted from Mario Kart Tour, failing to match the high standards of the base game. As a result, the overall experience is slightly compromised and the tracks don't quite live up to the visual experience of the original game. And for that reason, I give the first wave a 6.6 out of 10. Because although it was an okay start to the Booster Course Pass, I feel like 2 tracks in the first wave I'd swap out for better ones. And don't forget, along my review video, I have written an alternate Booster Course Pass. Meaning this is what, in my opinion, the Booster Course Pass would have looked like if certain tracks made it in instead. So, my alternate version of Wave 1 includes Tour, Paris Promenade, 3DS, Shy Guy Bazaar, N64, Choco Mountain, and Wii Coconut Mall in the Golden Dash Cup. The Lucky Cat Cup would have Tour, Tokyo Blur, DS, Luigi's Mansion, GBA, Sky Garden, and Tour, Ninja Hideaway. For Wave 2 of the Booster Course Pass is better than Wave 1 in terms of diversity, bringing a mix of exhilarating tracks and a few missed opportunities. While Wave 2 may not be my favourite wave, it certainly adds some enjoyable options to the game. In this wave, we're treated to a blend of classic and a brand new track in Sky High Sundae. The wave includes New York Minute from Tour, Mario Circuit 3 from the SNES, Calamari Desert from the Nintendo 64, and Sky High Sundae, which is a new original track. And the wave also includes tracks like Waluigi Pinball, Mushroom Gorge, and a lot more. One standout to me for Wave 2 is probably Waluigi Pinball from Mario Kart DS, which does retain its charm but falls short in the anti-gravity department, because I feel like a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe remake of Waluigi Pinball had the opportunity to add anti-gravity in there, but the removal of the unique sound before the finish line in this track, it's what made the track unique. And unfortunately, it was a letdown in my opinion that they didn't include it. However, there is anti-gravity used in Wave 2 in the form of Sky High Sunday, a brand new track that adds a refreshing twist to the mix. And Wave 2 doesn't fully maximise the potential of anti-gravity, with only Sky High Sunday embracing the mechanic, and some players might wish for more anti-gravity action within the pass, especially in Waluigi Pinball. And additionally, the track layout for Sky High Sunday, while it is a welcome addition to the pass, I just feel like it's somewhat predictable because of its oval format. And one track I would swap out from Wave 2 is probably SNES Mario Circuit 3. The reason I would swap it out is mainly because of its layout. It doesn't have any glide sections, no anti-gravity, nothing. Despite the music being nostalgic, I think its inclusion in the Booster Course Pass was a bit unnecessary, especially with the fact the Booster Course Pass included 4 circuits. And in my opinion, I'd swap out SNES Mario Circuit 3 not for an SNES track, but for a GameCube track instead. And that GameCube track is Mushroom Bridge. I get that Mushroom Gorge was included in Wave 2 as well, but Mushroom Bridge I feel like was right for Wave 2. And this would have offered a bit more representation of Double Dash in the Booster Course Pass. And the graphics have seen a slight improvement, but Wave 3 is where the graphics take a turn. And overall, Wave 2 brings an exciting mix of tracks to the table with some impressive choices, but could have pushed the boundaries a bit further with anti-gravity. While there is room for improvement, Wave 2 is solid and gets the score of 7.5 out of 10. My alternate version of Wave 2 would include Tour New York Minute, GCN Mushroom Bridge, N64 Calamari Desert, and DS Waluigi Pinball in the Turnip Cup, and the Propeller Cup would include Tour Sydney Sprint, GBA Snowland, Wii Mushroom Gorge, and Sky High Sunday, meaning the Propeller Cup would be left unchanged, with only SNES Mario Circuit 3 being swapped out for Mushroom Bridge. For Wave 3 is where the Booster Course Pass starts to take a turn, which brings a more exciting mix of new tracks that add freshness and thrills to the game. Wave 3 includes London Loop from Tour, Boo Lake from Super Circuit, Alpine Pass, as we call Rock Mountain in Europe, from Mario Kart 7, Maple Tree Way from Mario Kart Wii, Berlin Byways from Mario Kart Tour, Peach Gardens from Mario Kart DS, Merry Mountain from Tour, and 3DS Rainbow Road from Mario Kart 7. Despite the absence of ghost-themed tracks in the past, Boo Lake shines as a fun choice. Because with the addition of water physics and anti-gravity mechanics, making the glow up a delight to race on, an Alpine Pass, while not graphically impressive, still offers a somewhat enjoyable experience thanks to its anti-gravity sections. Maple Treeway, originally from Mario Kart Wii, would have been a fitting addition to the Acorn Cup because it's an autumn themed track. My alternate booster course pass would have Maple Treeway in Wave 6 in the Acorn Cup. And Maple Treeway stands out to me because of its reintroduction of half pipes from Mario Kart Wii, which adds an extra layer of excitement into the courses. An alternate scenario in Maple Treeway, like I said, Moonview Highway would end up being in Wave 3 in my alternate booster course pass, switching positions with Peach Gardens, which I moved into the Rock Cup. And Peach Gardens, though visually impressive, does lose some of its originality and complexity in path choices, because a path was blocked off from the original game, because the roundabout where the Mario bush is blocked off, and that's why I thought Peach Gardens was fun in its original form, and it's a shame that they removed it from its remake. But the Booster Course Pass remake does spice it up a bit by including a feature in the final lap where you go in the opposite direction. However, the real showstopper of the whole wave is 3DS Rainbow Road. Not only does it impress me with its graphics, but also introduces anti-gravity mechanics, making it a true highlight as Nintendo's choice to include these tracks in the last 3DS wave, or so we thought until Wave 6, was a wise one. Although the front half of the Booster Course Pass may have not have held up compared to the back half, but with a score of 8 out of 10, Wave 3 is probably the best of the front half. And my alternate Booster Course Pass would include Tour London Loop, GBA Boo Lake, 3DS Alpine Pass, or Rock Mountain, known to you guys in the States, but I just think it just needed a rework graphically. And DS Peach Gardens, which in the actual Booster Course Pass was included in the Moon Cup, but I moved it to the Rock Cup because Moonview Highway. The Moon Cup would include Tour Berlin Byways, Wii Moonview Highway, as Maple Treeway would be moved to Wave 6, Merry Mountain, and 3DS Rainbow Road. For Wave 4, like Wave 3, does take a turn for the Booster Course Pass, does it? Because it does include content other than new tracks. Because not only did it introduce a visual upgrade to make the graphics more captivating, but also introduced several exciting features beyond just new tracks. One of the most notable additions to Wave 4 was the introduction of a new character known as Birdo. And similar to Yoshi, Birdo comes with multiple colour choices, adding diversity and to the roster itself. The track selection in Wave 4, apart from DS Mario Circuit, is exhilarating. The wave includes Amsterdam Drift from Tour, Riverside Park from Super Circuit, which did receive a phenomenal makeover in Mario Kart Tour and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, as the jungle setting comes to life with enhanced visuals, more obstacles and enemies, and exciting tricks to perform. And DK Snowball Cross, coming from Mario Kart Wii, joined the roster, and interestingly, despite having a similar layout as DK Mountain, it definitely deserves its spot in the Booster Course Pass. Even if DK Snowball Cross and DK Mountain are both in the Booster Course Pass, both were deserving. Yoshi's Island stands out as the show stealer of Wave 4 thanks to its unique layout, distinctive Yoshi's Island projectiles and spectators, and the addition of creative sound effects and the swap out in coins make the course feel vibrant, dynamic, and it also makes it feel like a crossover course, similar to how we've had Hyrule Circuit and Animal Crossing in base Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Yoshi's Island actually makes it feel like a crossover track. But on the other hand, the least exciting pick in Wave 4 was DS Mario Circuit, which was considered a major letdown in my opinion. As DS Mario Circuit, I do consider as a D tier track that perhaps could have been replaced with other options like Airship Fortress or Delfino Square, especially since I put Luigi's Mansion in my alternate Wave 1, and that's why I'm putting Delfino Square in my alternate Wave 4, because I feel like DS Mario Circuit was a disappointing choice, and I'm not gonna lie, Mario Kart DS was done a bit dirty in the Booster Course Pass, because we've only had 2 good picks from the Mario Kart DS, that being Waluigi Pinball and Peach Gardens. But Shroom Ridge and DS Mario Circuit just fell flat and could have been replaced with better choices. But enough with DS Mario Circuit. But one of my favourite remakes in the Booster Course Pass has to be Waluigi Stadium. A track that I personally expected to see in Wave 6 takes the retro spotlight in Wave 4, because it receives a massive graphical overhaul and an injection of amusement with anti-gravity and glide sections, and the rearrangement of Waluigi Stadium in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is nothing but phenomenal, making Waluigi Stadium my favourite track of Wave 4. And with a mix of exciting choices and only one disappointing choice in Wave 4, Wave 4 gets an 8.6 out of 10, because Wave 4 as a wave was pretty good, thanks to Yoshi's Island, DK Snowball Cross, Riverside Park, and Waluigi Stadium, because there's a good variety of tracks in this wave, especially in its graphics. My alternate Wave 4 would remain unchanged, as the Fruit Cup would include Tour, Amsterdam Drift, GBA, Riverside Park, Wii, DK Snowball Cross, or known to you guys as DK Summit in the States, and Yoshi's Island. The Boomerang Cup would include Tour, Bangkok Rush, DS Delfino Square, GCN Waluigi Stadium, and Tour Singapore Speedway. Wave 5 has brought a mix of surprises and only one disappointment, placing it in a tie with Wave 4 in terms of track choices. The wave also includes 3 playable characters, not 1, not 2, but 3, such as PT Piranha from Double Dash, Wiggler from Mario Kart 7, and Kamek from Mario Kart Tour, adding a fresh layer of excitement to the game. The track selection includes Athens Dash, which feels more like a Wave 6 track, so my alternate version of the Booster Course Pass would have Athens Dash in Wave 6 instead. So in my alternate Booster Course Pass, I moved it and replaced it with Los Angeles Laps, which was included with Wave 5 anyway. So Daisy Cruiser is a spot-on remake, skillfully blending elements from the GameCube, 3DS, and Tour versions to make this version of Daisy Cruiser exciting. And Moonview Highway was probably the track that caught me by surprise, as it stands out as a surprising addition to the Booster Course Pass overall. And since this track has not been remade before, the thrilling feature of colliding with bomb cars from the past retains its glory. And my alternate Booster Course Pass did move Moonview Highway to Wave 3 to avoid overlapping Dry Ruins with Wii Rainbow Road, since they're in the same cup in the Wii version. We've placed Maple Treeway in Daisy Circuit's place. Since Daisy Circuit is not in my alternate Booster Course Pass at all, I put Moonview Highway in Wave 3 to pair with Cooper Cape, which feels more like a fitting combination. Squeaky Clean Sprint, which is a new original track, which did debut in Tour later on, is definitely a fun, interesting track, because I do get vibes from the Ribbon Road remake from the base game, as I feel like tracks where you shrink down into a minuscule size are those tracks I have fun with, because those tracks feel more like Easter egg hunts than actual tracks, because the Easter eggs were really fun and detailed to point out every time I race through this track. And I did point out another Easter egg for Dino Jungle in Squeaky Clean Sprint, which unfortunately didn't make it to the Booster Course Pass, which is a shame, because Dino Jungle is actually one of my favourite GameCube tracks, besides DK Mountain and Mushroom Bridge. But it's reasonable why we didn't have both DK Mountain and Dino Jungle in the game, because of the music. But DK Mountain was still fun anyway. But Sunset Wilds was a major letdown in my opinion as a remake, as it removed the signature sunset element that defined the track, which I understand that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe didn't have a skybox engine within the game, but I feel like if Mario Kart 9 were to have a skybox engine, I feel like Sunset Wilds would have been better off in Mario Kart 9. And that's why I think Lakeside Park is going to be a retro track in Mario Kart 9 because of the skybox engine. And in my alternate Booster Course Pass, I've replaced Sunset Wilds with Airship Fortress, Since Delfino Square is already in my alternate Wave 4, and Luigi's Mansion is in my alternate Wave 1, I know Airship Fortress is a fan favourite, so I chose Airship Fortress as the last DS track. Koopa Cape was a standout track from the Wii, remaining its charm while incorporating features from the Wii and 3DS versions. They do include the finish line art from Tour, which I do admire, but my only minor concern with the track is its texturing. But the underwater area of Koopa Cape looks fantastic, with the amount of underwater enemies they put into the mix, and the reintroduction of anti-gravity and half-pipes make the Koopa Cape remake in the Booster Course Pass really fun. And putting Dry Ruins and Koopa Cape together in the same wave would have made it more fun. And Wave 5 would have been my favourite wave if Dry Ruins was included with Koopa Cape. And summing up Wave 5 as a whole, the gameplay is fun. The track choices, apart from the remake of Sunset Wilds, which was a major letdown in my opinion, and the graphics were stunning. And with the score of an 8.6 out of 10, Wave 5 ties with Wave 4 as one of the Booster Course Pass best waves. And my alternate Wave 5 would include the Feather Cup, consisting of Tour Los Angeles Laps, GCN Daisy Cruiser, Wii Koopa Cape being moved from the Cherry Cup to the Feather Cup, and Squeaky Clean Sprint. Meaning the Feather Cup would have a lot of water themed tracks. And since I pushed Athens Dash to Wave 6 because of its difficulty, Los Angeles Laps takes its place. And the reason I pushed Koopa Cape to the Feather Cup is because of its name. Because the feather in Super Mario Bros. 3 gives you a cape, I thought it would have made more sense to have Koopa Cape in the Feather Cup. And the Cherry Cup would include Tour, Madrid Drive, DS, Airship Fortress, replacing GBA Sunset Wilds because of its disappointing remake, Wii Dry Ruins, replacing Daisy Circuit, but since I pushed Dry Ruins into Wave 5, the reason I did is because I didn't want to overlap Dry Ruins with Wii Rainbow Road, since they're featured in the same cup in Mario Kart Wii. I pushed Dry Ruins into the Cherry Cup, so Dry Ruins and Koopa Cape would go together. And Tour Vancouver Velocity. And finally, before we get into the summary, we're going to talk about Wave 6. Wave 6 has to be my favourite wave in the entire Booster Course Pass. Not only because of the track picks, but because of the amount of surprises packed into this wave. Because Wave 6 adds not one, not two, but 4 playable characters, being Diddy Kong, Funky Kong, Pauline, and Peachette. Honestly, I didn't think getting 2 Kongs in the same wave was realistic. So in part 4 of my prediction series, I ended up predicting both Diddy Kong and Pauline, which was spot on, plus 2 characters. And although I do disagree with Peachette's inclusion in the game, because I do think Peachette should have been a skin for Peach, like what they did with Yoshi, Shy Guy, and Birdo. But enough with the characters, we're now going to get into the track picks. Because Wave 6 includes Rome Avanti from Tour, DK Mountain from Double Dash, Daisy Circuit from Mario Kart Wii, Piranha Plant Cove from Mario Kart Tour, Madrid Drive from Mario Kart Tour, Rosalina's Ice World from Mario Kart 7, Bowser Castle 3 from Super Mario Kart, and Rainbow Road from Mario Kart Wii. Rome Avanti definitely fits perfectly into Wave 6, not because of its difficulty, but its visual quality as well. Although the city tracks in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe are decent, Rome Avanti stands out to me as my favourite, is because it's the closest we're gonna get to Wario Coliseum in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And I feel like it's the best city track overall because of the Coliseum you can drive through twice. But in my alternate booster course pass, Rome Avanti is in the Spiny Cup, as Athens Dash would be featured in the Acorn Cup. And in my opinion, Athens Dash and Rome Avanti being included in the same wave would have made a lot of sense because of their difficulty. DK Mountain definitely had to be the perfect remake of a track in the Booster Course Pass, because not only did it stay true to the original, but also brought features from their Wii and Tour remakes, such as the half pipes from Wii and the glider section from Tour. The visuals of DK Mountain probably have to be the best in the entire Booster Course Pass, because the texturing and the lighting is on par with base Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and the face on the volcano is now glowing, and they kept the face trees even though they didn't dance like in the GameCube original or the Wii remake. The face trees were great to have near the finish line. And despite me leaning more towards Dino Jungle, due to DK Mountain's similarities with DK Snowboard Cross, DK Mountain was a perfectly remade track. And despite the lack of GameCube representation in the Booster Course Pass, the 3 GameCube picks we did get in the Booster Course Pass were great choices, with Waluigi Stadium, Daisy Cruiser, and DK Mountain all being great remakes. Although I would add a 4th GameCube track in Mushroom Bridge personally, but still, DK Mountain was a great way to end the GameCube side of things in the Booster Course Pass, and definitely deserved its place in the Booster Course Pass. Daisy Circuit, which is an overrated track in my opinion, being at C tier at best. The remake does look stunning compared to its Wii and Tour counterparts, but I feel like the inclusion of Daisy Circuit wasn't really needed, with the amount of circuits we have in the game already. Especially that Daisy Circuit is the 4th circuit track in the Booster Course Pass, after 3DS Toad Circuit, SNES Mario Circuit 3, and DS Mario Circuit. But my alternate Booster Course Pass cuts them all out. But with Daisy Circuit now in the game, the entire Star Cup from Mario Kart Wii is in 8 Deluxe as a retro. And this is the first time that's ever happened in 8 Deluxe. And of course, every single Mario Kart game has one circuit represented in 8 Deluxe. And apart from the glider ramp shortcut added in, Daisy Circuit doesn't change anything gameplay-wise. I do think going in reverse like DS Peach Gardens would have been a cool change, but without any changes to the gameplay, I think Daisy Circuit was better off saved for Mario Kart 9. And in my alternate booster course pass, Maple Tree Way is in the Acorn Cup, Moonview Highway is pushed to Wave 3, and Daisy Circuit is replaced with Dry Ruins, but is included in Wave 5 with Cooper Cape. And the announcement of Daisy Circuit did get me a bit scared, because I thought that Wii Rainbow Road wasn't going to make it in, because Wave 5 having 2 Wii tracks, and 2 waves having 2 Wii tracks each, is one thing I didn't see being realistic. But luckily, in the end, Rainbow Road did make it in. Piranha Plant Cove was another fun inclusion to the Booster Course Pass, and although this track was featured in Tour before, I already saw this track coming. And the amount of detail, especially in its visuals, make this my favourite Tour Nitro track. And with the inclusion of Piranha Plant Cove, only one Tour track didn't make the cut, and that was Piranha Plant Pipeline. And I think they're going to save it for Mario Kart 9, personally. And that's okay, because we already have Piranha Plant Pipeway, known as Piranha Plant Slide, to you guys in the States. And despite Madrid Drive being better fitted for Wave 5, it was fun being able to drive through a football stadium, or soccer for you guys in the States, an art gallery, and much more. And although I wouldn't consider this as my favourite city track from Tour, it's still a fun one to race on. And now, Rosalina's Ice World is the track that caught me by surprise, because I didn't think that this track was gonna make it in, because of the prefixes from 3DS, which were taken by Toad Circuit, Alpine Pass, and 3DS Rainbow Road, which caused me to lose hope for Rosalina's Ice World inclusion in the Booster Course Pass. But it turns out they had one extra 3DS track up their sleeve in Rosalina's Ice World, and I'm more than happy that they included this track in the Booster Course Pass, because it's my favourite winter track, and the remake is everything I've wanted out of a Rosalina's Ice World remake, such as phenomenal visuals, a half-pipe section, and so much more. And it's a miracle that this underrated track even made it in to the Booster Course Pass. And even if we didn't get Airship Fortress or Luigi's Mansion, at least one more from my top 10 made it in. SNES Bowser Castle 3 is definitely a track I saw coming, but I gotta tell you now, the music hit me hard, going with a rock theme unlike its SNES original. The visuals make it feel like I'm racing through Bowser in the Lava Sea from Super Mario 64. And I love the remake for that reason. And I'm happy that the Booster Course Pass took a different approach for retro Bowser's Castle, because other Mario Kart games since Mario Kart DS, Mario Kart Wii, and Mario Kart 7 all included GBA Bowser Castle retro tracks, as the Booster Course Pass goes a different path and uses an SNES Bowser Castle. And despite only getting one Bowser Castle track in the whole pass, I'm happy they chose this one over Vanilla Lake, because I feel like even though with the Vanilla Lake Easter eggs, it wasn't really needed because of the inclusion of Snowland. And an SNES Bowser Castle 3, despite not being everyone's favourite Mario Kart game, was a phenomenal glow-up. And for the finale of the Booster Course Pass, we have Wii Rainbow Road, which is probably the new best Rainbow Road to drive on in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Not only did it stay true to the Wii version, by doing 3 laps instead of 2 sections like Tour, but Wii Rainbow Road added anti-gravity, glider ramps, and kept its finish line arch from Tour. Wave 6 also features 18 different Mii costumes, 17 from Tour, and 1 locked behind an amiibo. Each costume, such as the question block, the Cheep Cheep, and the dolphin, all have unique trick animations, which is a nice extra detail to put in there. And I do think they could have spaced out the Mii costumes throughout waves instead of introducing all the Mii costumes in Wave 6. They could do a large amount per wave. Like the ice cream Mii costume in Wave 2, for example. Because the exclusion of Mii costumes like King Bob-omb and King Boo did get me a bit disappointed. But I do feel like the unique animations going into each Mii costume is a nice detail to put in here. And I do think they could have added more amiibo costumes to the game, since there's a Waluigi Mii costume in Tour. They could have put a Waluigi one in there. That would have been fun. But overall, Wave 6 is a near perfect wave. The track choices, apart from Daisy Circuit, were spot on. The quality of the visuals were phenomenal, and the music player that allows you to listen to any track within 8 Deluxe definitely makes the entire game's replay value, but sadly, the only Tour track that didn't make the cut is Piranha Plant Pipeline. But it's probably going to make Mario Kart 9, most likely. And Wave 6 gets a 9.2 out of 10. But my alternate Wave 6 doesn't really change much. Apart from the locations of the city tracks and 1 retro track coming from Wave 3, and that's the Acorn Cup having Tour Athens Dash, GCN DK Mountain, Wii Maple Tree Way, and Piranha Plant Cove. The Spiny Cup including Tour Rome Avanti, 3DS Rosalina's Ice World, SNES Bowser's Castle, and Wii Rainbow Road. For the summary, Wave 1, I'm going to give it a 6.6 out of 10. Yet again, an okay start to the Booster Course Pass, but Coconut Mall is the one that really got it for me in this wave. It just lacked visual quality. Wave 2, I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. Wave 2 does add a bit of extra diversity to the pass itself, but unfortunately is lackluster in anti-gravity mechanics. Wave 3, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10, because this is where the pass starts to get a bit better, with the inclusion of anti-gravity. Wave 4, I'm going to give it an 8.6 out of 10, because this has to be one of my favourite waves in the pass. Because I'm not going to lie, the retro track selection was spot on, apart from DS Mario Circuit, and the rearrangement for Waluigi Stadium had its energy in there, and that's what makes me happy. And Wave 5, I'm going to give it an 8.6 out of 10. Yet again, it does tie in second place with Wave 4, but the only track choice that did disappoint me in Wave 5 was probably Sunset Wilds, my favourite Super Circuit track because of its remake. And Wave 6, I'm going to give it a 9.2 out of 10. Because Wave 6 has to be the best wave in the Booster Course Pass as a whole, because the graphics are phenomenal, the track choices, apart from Daisy Circuit, were spot on, and overall I had a fun time with Wave 6. And for the perk, I've not written a perk system for my DLC reviews yet, because this is the debut of the BB8's House Reviews DLC category. I haven't written a full perk system yet. But the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass definitely earned its collector perk. Because I am considering purchasing the collector's set for the Booster Course Pass, which does include pins and the DLC code itself, meaning I will actually own the DLC, since I relied on Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack for the Booster Course Pass, but finally owning it for real, I'm gonna have the Booster Course Pass forever, guys. I'm literally gonna own it after this. And overall, I give the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass an 8.1 out of 10. As Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's Booster Course Pass is the near perfect DLC to the Switch's most selling title and makes it more expansive. Although there is things I'd change about it, there's tracks I'd swap out and move around a bit, but it does have a good track selection in here, giving fan favourites, tracks that have never been remade before. All of them get a chance in the Booster Course Pass. And the amount of replay value in here, such as new characters, new tracks, and new Mii costumes, do make it all worthy. And the only extra detail I would add to the Booster Course Pass is adding more car parts from Mario Kart games that have come out in the past, such as the Wild Wing from Mario Kart Wii, the Piranha Pipe, and Koopa Dasher from Double Dash, because all those would have been really fun to use in 8 Deluxe in their original forms, because I would have really enjoyed using the Piranha Pipe in Mushroom Bridge, which unfortunately, disappointingly, didn't make it to the Booster Course Pass. And I've nearly got every track I've wanted in the game, apart from Luigi's Mansion, Airship Fortress, Delfino Square, and Mushroom Bridge. And this is what my alternate Booster Course Pass looks like. Unfortunately, I don't have the time to go through the entire Booster Course Pass in my alternative form, but if you guys want to look at it, go ahead. So guys, what did you think of my review of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's Booster Course Pass? So, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and turn your notification bell on so you don't miss another video like this one. And I will see you all in a future review video. BB8 out.